There you go. We finally get to continue this game.
Yay. Finally.
Yeah. I'm excited to be Jacques again.
I'm glad. Okay. All right. Bit of an unorthodox seating arrangement, but I guess it'll do.
Yeah.
All right. So as far as I remember, I have not gone over the recordings because who has time for that? Last we left off, you just had a harrowing fight against a bunch of crawling claws in a farm. They jumped out of the ground and attacked you and for
Terry,
the Dragonborn. Terry went down real quick and was in critical condition, but you managed to fight off the rest of the crawling claws, mainly using fire, I think. I remember there being fire.
There was my hellish rebuke was one of the things. So while they were crawling on me, you let that be an AoE attack to hit the rest of them.
So you managed to deal with them and you rushed Terry off to the local chapter of the cleric. They're called the Proclaimers of the Covenant.
They can proclaim whatever they want if they fix up my boy Terry.
Yeah. So they're responsible for obviously healing in the town, but also keeping track of the Awakening Song.
Mm-hmm. The Awakening Song?
Yep. Just basically kind of an ongoing, living kind of account of the gods of the pantheon that these people follow.
I see.
And it's a living song in that anyone can add new verses. They just have to go through a proclaimer, and proclaimers themselves will travel far and wide in search of inspiration.
Okay.
And then they'll come back to God's breath to add to the song. So it's a very important part of the culture.
Yep.
But yeah, they also healed Terry. So and I believe you did talk to one of the proclaimers, one of the older proclaimers who's been around a long time. But we'll go over that conversation again because
it's been 3 months.
Important, and it has been 3 months. Yeah. And I cannot remember any of the voices I chose, so I'm just going to start over and we'll just pretend they've been that way all along.
Okay.
Not that it's going to matter because there's probably one person watching this ever. I wouldn't even record it if it was me. But yeah. So you are recovering in a small room off of the main hall of the Temple of the Covenant.
Yep.
You've been bandaged up. You've been healed to full. Just get that out of the way.
Yep.
And you're kind of sitting on the edge of your bed when an older person walks in. They're kind of an indeterminate gender, kind of androgynous.
Okay.
And they look at you with a lot of concern as they hurry in. And they come up to you and they have a very, they're very confident. They come up to you and they say, what was your last name, sorry?
I don't think I'd given anyone my last name.
Okay. Master Jacques.
Yeah.
How are you feeling?
Well, it's been a rough one, but I'm feeling a lot better than when I came in, thank you.
This gladdens my heart. Although I have great faith in my clerics. I'm sure you'll make a full recovery. That's what they tell me.
And Terry?
Oh, yes, of course. Terry will also make a full recovery, but it will take him a bit longer. His wounds were severe and he hasn't seen combat like you have. So he didn't. So whatever attacked you, I don't know what they were, but they did a number on him. But my clerics are with him. They will watch over him, and they are confident that he will recover. Of course, his mother has been notified. She was hysterical, I can understand. Having 2 sons in danger is not something I want to think about too much, but it's to put your mind at ease. I'm greatly relieved, and you can see that he kind of trails off respectfully, but you can tell that he wants to say more.
Yeah.
He kind of seems a bit, you can tell that he is curious as to what happened.
Yeah.
But he doesn't want to ask.
So I use minor illusion to craft an image of the hand. Can I get his opinion on it?
Yeah, so as soon as he sees this, he kind of starts with shock. And then his brow furrows in thought. And he doesn't respond immediately. He seems to be thinking quite deeply about something, and then kind of shakes himself. So please, elaborate. Is this what attacked you?
A lot of them, I'd say. There were, at least 5 of them, but I think there were more that kind of scurried off. I was digging around one of the holes next to one of the houses. There was a sort of trail that I'd followed out the house down into the field, found a hole, managed to lure out this thing, and it attacked me. And yeah, I've been hoping that Terry would kind of, do his bit and run as fast as he could, but he stuck around because, maybe he put too much faith in me. But
I have to disagree. I've known Terry a long time, as I know everyone in this town. I can just imagine him meeting this amazing adventurer with their companion, their canine companion, and their spells and their cloak, and immediately thinking, I'm going to prove myself to this person. Terry. Still so young. I'm glad he's still with us.
Me too. But I'm going to need to know everything you can tell me about these things, because I'm going to go stop them from doing anything anymore. And it's just like he leans forward, and there's just this intensity in his face as he says, I'm going to stop them from doing anything anymore. And I'd like it to be a persuasion to convince him to give me absolutely all the information he can. Do you want me to roll that, or?
So, okay. So just with the intensity of your expression.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely rolling persuasion. Yeah.
Yay, that's one of the things I'm good at.
Yeah.
Boo, it's a bad roll.
Oh no.
Yay, it was a 15.
A 15. Okay, no, that's fine. It's above average. He looks at you a moment, sizing you up, and he seems to be kind of, there's a bit of a battle going on behind his eyes. Finally, he sits down next to you, kind of lets out this weary breath. There are strange goings on in this town. They seem unrelated at first, but my gut and my faith tell me, they're screaming at me both, that there's something dark at work here. These things are related. We have these people disappearing from their beds. People complaining of nightmares. And then we have this attack.
And then there was the monster attacks in the town, the wolves.
Yes, exactly. Giant hyenas down from the rattle. Never heard of before. Usually monsters, they stay in the rattle. And if people want to farm there, that's their prerogative, but they've never ventured this close to civilization before. I tell you, Jacques. I myself have had troubled dreams of late. My acolytes have come to me. They tell me they dream of a man, a faceless man trapped somewhere dark, screaming out for help. I myself also have these dreams. Nightmares, really.
All right, so we've got Anne's taking people out of their beds at night. Monsters coming all the way into town. And shared dreams.
Jacques, I'm going to tell you something in confidence. This doesn't leave this room. This is between us, because I can see that you truly want to help these people. Do you want to know the reason that the soil in the rattle is poisoned? There is a reason.
I'm guessing it's connected to the monsters.
I don't know.
But tell me.
Long ago, people came to this bay. And they found fertile farmland for as far as the eye could see, right up to the mountains. They settled here naturally. But then inexplicably, 20 years into their settlement, the land started to fail. Crops wouldn't grow. Weeds sprouted virulently across the land. Somehow, who knows how, they discovered that if they sacrificed a deity, the lands replenished themselves.
Hang on, you're telling me a place called God's Breath, who are all about following a living piece of music to sing the stories of the pantheon, would willingly sacrifice a deity?
Most people don't know. This was long ago. Only the most devout and most upstanding followers, proclaimers of covenant, my acolytes, are made aware of this little fact about history. How else are we going to remember those gods that have been slaughtered in the past, if not through song? We must remember them somehow. Otherwise, Their sacrifice is forgotten.
I don't even know how you would kill like the average deity. The only dead deities I've ever seen have been adrift because all of their followers were dead. And even then, that wasn't like a permanent death. This is something else.
Unfortunately, yes, the secret has been lost to us. It has been, goodness, I'm not sure how long, at least a century, perhaps.
Well, that's probably for the best. They do get somewhat vengeful if they feel slighted by us mere mortals.
Yes, it seems our gods have spared us in the past. Perhaps our gods are more forgiving.
That's plausible.
But it leads us to our current problem, wherein the lands are starting to fail again. And I don't know what to do with it.
It seems possible as well that the poison and possibly the ants as well are a part of a sort of corruption. As the power does dry up, there's this sort of inverse effect at the end. As I'll need to gather more information. All right.
You are startled out of this deep and meaningful conversation by a blood-curdling scream coming from outside.
Yep, cool. I grab my rapier and I run for the door. I don't even like no goodbye, just like,
oh yeah, Jane is right behind you.
So the monk.
Yeah.
Oh,
Proclaimer.
Proclaimer, yeah. Yeah.
You run outside.
I guess Shadow's right behind me as well.
Cool. Yeah, if you're going to be.
Yeah.
You run outside and you don't see anyone on the street, and you're not quite sure where the scream came from. And then you hear another, more of just a yell this time, but it's just an articulate, frustrated cry.
Okay.
And it's coming from, you're on the outskirts of Promise already, the town.
Yeah.
It's coming from outside the town, on the outskirts.
Yep.
And Jade is behind you, and they say, my God, that sounds like the cemetery.
Oh, that's not the... All right, follow me. Jacques just thinking about the number of weird zombie hands that could be in a cemetery. I mean, the ones he saw were sort of vaguely incorporeal from memory, so it's a possibility that so I haven't had a long rest, have I?
No, you did. During their healing, that would have counted as a long rest.
Cool.
For sure. You were there overnight.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Yeah.
I wanted to check.
Yeah, all good. Yeah, fully healed up, long rest, everything reset.
Yep.
Good way to be.
Yeah.
For this last session.
Yeah. Did you want to share that window with the Zoom call? So you'll need to go back to the Zoom call.
Yep. I'll bring that up.
And then
share screen.
Yep.
Okay. I want to share this one.
Yep.
Share. So it's so it's here.
Yeah, there we are.
And then I believe you're still here. There we are. Yay. And I believe Shadow's here. So there he is. Yay.
Wonderful. Can you just quickly zoom in for the sake of the stream? I was very happy with those when they were made.
Yeah.
Shadow. Yeah. So the picture of Shadow is Millie the Beagle, while her eyes were illuminated by a flash, and the painting of Jacques was done by Tom.
Yeah. It looks like a paper hat.
Yeah, and the rim was even made to match on the icon was even made to match the die that I
love it.
bought years ago for my
Very
tiefling
cool.
character when I got to him.
I just realized I don't have one for Proclaimer Jade, but that's okay.
I guess you can use the generic.
Yeah, let's see. Do they have a bard? No, bard, a cleric.
Yes, they do. I think
Sorcerer, rogue, ranger, paladin, monk.
Oh, up two.
Fighter,
Up one.
druid,
Cleric.
cleric.
Yeah.
There we go. That's Proclaimer Jade.
Yeah.
Yay. Should Shadow be smaller?
I think the dog we ended up using was a medium creature, but I'm also down with.
Okay.
I'm fine for you to scale her down if you
I don't
need.
know how to.
Let me help.
Because that makes it bigger, but I can't make it any smaller.
This might just be one of those things where you need the luxury of being zoomed in enough to be able to make it smaller. Nope. Oh, maybe there's a locking feature. I've encountered that one before. This is settings. Token label size, grid snapping sensitivity. Maybe if you turn this down, it might be.
Okay, cool.
So
Alright,
3
very
feet
nice.
is usually what I use for
Okay.
small
So
sized
we'll have
creatures.
Shadow there.
Yeah.
Yep, very nice. Okay.
And I
Cool.
take one of the daggers out of my bag. Actually, has Jade returned to me the dagger that Terry had, or was Terry's dagger still with him?
Ooh.
I'm just letting you make the call.
I think that Terry would still have the dagger.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
then I just lend.
They wouldn't have a reason to take it off.
Yeah, I hand the same dagger back to Shadow for comic effect.
Yeah. Too bad I can't put a little dagger there.
Oh
That's
god,
okay.
it would. Yeah, it would be too much.
Yeah. Cool. So the cemetery isn't far out of town. You get there within like 5 minutes.
Yep.
And I also don't have a token. I forgot all my NPCs. And you enter this cemetery, and you see a man kind of here.
Yeah.
How do you ping it? No.
I don't know.
No.
Oh, right. Yeah,
Nothing.
down.
Down.
No, on that list, down 2.
Drawing tool.
Down 2 from drawing tool. There.
Oh, pointer.
Yeah.
Okay. So here.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah. You see a man.
Oh, he's huge.
This is on having to change between. There we go. 5 feet. There we go. No. You see a man, and he is very out of breath. His ruddy cheeks are even ruddier than usual.
Yeah.
He has this magnificent beard, a great big bushy beard. And he's got these like dirty overalls on. And there's a spade lying nearby. Not a spade, sorry.
Yep.
What do you have? I'm overthinking this.
Not a spade or a shovel, just.
Yeah, because that gives the wrong impression. Anyway, he's not carrying anything.
Okay.
And he looks up as you two, arrive out of breath to the scene.
Mm-hmm.
He looks up, and his eyes immediately fasten on Proclaimer Jade as a familiar face. He's kneeling like on his knees, not kneeling, like stand, like resting on his knees, and he's panting. Proclaimer Jade. All these years that I have looked after this cemetery, and not once have I come to work and seen this.
I look to where he's gesturing.
Mm-hmm. He's gesturing toward this area of the cemetery, just kind of tucked away on the side.
Yep.
And you can see that 3 of the graves have been dug up.
Okay.
Very messily.
Okay.
And there are 3 skeletons lying nearby.
Okay.
Yeah. This guy, his eyes are wide, and he's starting to just kind of babble a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's trying to, he really is not collecting himself. So Jade goes over to him and starts to calm him down.
Yep.
what would you like to do?
Ooh. I want to move over to where those skeletons are.
Okay.
On the ground. Just like I'll keep listening to the I'll keep listening to the conversation.
Yep.
But I want to kind of get a better look at it myself.
Yeah.
And also, like, if there is a threat, I want to put myself between it and more vulnerable people.
Yeah. What's your PP? Your passive perception? What's your PP set?
16.
16. Okay. Yeah. Cool.
But I was going to look actively, if I may.
Yeah. So you were on guard.
Yeah.
As you walk over to the
16 roll anyway.
For perception.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I rolled a nat 10, so it's exactly the same as my passive.
Very helpful. So yeah, and you don't see any movement or hear anything amiss.
Yeah.
And you get the sense that, okay, whatever did this is now gone. You notice a few things at once. You're like, oh, 1, 2, 3 things. There's a lot going on here. The graves have been very messily dug up.
Yep. As if by hand.
Yeah, possibly. Like you can imagine how Shadow would dig up a bone.
Yep.
You also notice that the skeletons have been kind of thrown out of the grave, and then how do I put this? The skeletons are kind of like, they're kind of sprawled on the ground.
Yep.
You might have to look closely at that.
Yep, cool.
You also notice, third thing, very familiar looking, dark, shadowy handprints leading away.
Are they leading past the people?
No.
Good. Okay.
No.
Cool. Away from the cemetery, you say?
Yeah, like we'll get my pointer. Like in this direction.
Cool.
Through that break in the fence.
Yep. Jade, I think it's the same things again.
Jade looks up at the sound of your voice and his eyes go wide.
Lots of hands.
Ooh, I've just realized that I've been misgendering my own character.
That's fine. Everyone almost everyone I've ever met who's played a changeling has done that.
Yeah.
So
Stupid brain. Anyway.
I'm not saying Jade is a changeling, but you introduced Thon as neutral. And,
and then my brain just fell back into the pattern.
I guess if that's
it's just annoying. Anyway, their eyes go wide and they call out, I think this is where you take over, Jacques.
Right.
I'm going to get poor caretaker Winters inside.
You don't have any
magical
clerical weapons, something that goes bonk and is magical, or something that goes point?
My faith is certainly more of a healing faith, more of a symbolic faith.
I'd be lying if I'd said it hadn't had an effect so far. I'm gonna get moving and I'll see you no doubt later.
They look for a moment at the handprints leading away out God knows where, and a very thoughtful look passes over their face. He seems perhaps on the verge of saying something more, but then they shake their head and they just say, be careful.
Out with it.
Persuasion roll. Right. That's what you're going with.
Don't get to say this very often. 24.
Oh.
Wait, hang on. 23.
A very, very forceful out with it. Okay. Yeah. They turn to Winters for a moment. Look, I'm going to have just a quick word with Jacques here. He's investigating this matter. Go inside and I'll be right behind you. I will make a cup of tea and I'll help you sort out this mess. Winters, without too much protestation, heads inside this little house. Yeah. Meanwhile, Jade walks over to you. They look very troubled and they kind of lower their voice conspiratorially as they get close to you. Look, I wasn't going to mention this because it really puts me in a bad light. But things are happening very quickly and I'm starting to put two and two together. I need to tell you. A few weeks ago, I was having a meal with one of my oldest friends, Kiana Cumberland. She runs a farm and her family out near the lake, right where those handprints are leading. And I must warn you, I think something is afoot at the Cumberland farm because the night that we had a meal, we got talking and she's, brought up a common complaint at this point that her crops were failing, soil was dying inexplicably. What's going on? She was just getting it off her chest. I could tell that she was really, really frustrated, and I know how much her family means to her, and this is her whole livelihood. So I opened my mouth. I told her that I know why the crops are failing. I don't have a solution. I can't fix it. But I thought, hey, maybe I can relieve at least some of her anxiety.
By telling her it's not her fault.
By telling her it's not her fault. I wasn't going to bring it up, but that trail leads straight to the farm.
And now worse stuff is coming her way. All right.
Look, I'm going to go look after the caretaker. He's in real bad shape.
And I am going to go kill a fuck ton of hands. Excuse me. And I just run off.
Great. Excellent. All right.
Cool.
Very good. So
I'm just like, like action dashing, bonus action dashing, full movement, fucking 90 feet around.
Can Shadow keep up with you? Just by the way?
That's a question.
Yeah, I'm wondering. Or, does he start to lag behind?
I think he's going to start lagging behind. And
Probably.
I cannot, for the life of me, remember what stat block we settled on finally. Because I think we talked about the Mastiff, but the problem is that the Mastiff was too high a DC. Like, that's a full DC. Oh, no. DC 1/8 is actually a borderline reasonable stat block. That may have been what we went for. The only difference between it and the average familiar stat block is that it's got 5 hit points instead of 1.
Okay, it's a little bit bulkier.
Yeah, but not in a significant way. Like, the odds are very, very low that that's even going to make the difference between 1 and 2 hits. I think that was why we settled on it. Anyway, if that is the case, it's going to be lagging behind even with like action dashes because it doesn't have bonus action dashes.
Okay. But he'll catch up with you.
yeah. He's only going to be getting like 10 feet around behind me.
Yeah.
But Jacques is focused and yeah.
Okay. It is a long run.
Yep.
You definitely feel winded by the time you approach this farmhouse.
Okay.
So you've been running through mostly empty fields.
Mm-hmm.
You've passed a few like communes.
I like the idea that he doesn't put the rapier away because he doesn't realize how long it's going to be. So he's just like sprinting with a full-length rapier in one hand.
Just hoping, oh, you're just over this next rise.
Yeah.
This next hill.
Nope. All right. Next one. Nope.
Yeah. You pass a few communes and you do notice that at one point the land noticeably degrades in quality. It's like you pass this invisible line and it's just like this, your lovely rolling fields of golden
there's
wheat.
the ruction.
And
Ration.
then the rattle.
Rattle.
So you've got the ribbon, which is the very fertile soil.
Yeah.
That's also starting to fail. And then you've got the rattle, which is
middling.
It's soil that works, but also there's more monsters coming down from the mountains. It's just more dangerous in general, as blaze and things.
Ooh.
So you notice that immediately the soil just feels stonier under your feet, and the crops are a lot sparser.
Yep.
That sort of thing. Keep running. Eventually, over the next rise, you see this lovely, quaint little farmhouse.
Yep.
In front of you, and there's some paddocks surrounding it, and it's basically almost on top of a lake. Like the lake is very close by.
Yeah.
And it's this lovely lake that is enclosed in what looks like a crater. And it looks very peaceful. You don't see any movement as you approach, as you just like make a mad dash toward this house. It's beeline. You don't see any movement, and before you know it, you've followed the handprints right up to the back of the farmhouse.
Yep.
So you've got this hedge, and the handprint's going to go underneath it, and you see that they seem to go right up to the wall.
Do they look? Do the tracks look fresh? I guess.
As much as you can tell, it's hard to tell because you're not sure what substance they're made of. They're black, but they don't seem to be made of any like physical substance. Like when you try to touch it, it kind of, I don't know, it's kind of non-corporeal type weird. It's weird. But they, as far as you can tell,
yeah, okay. But they seem to have aimed for this house.
Yeah.
So I'm going to try and get them to give away their location. Shadow's still a little bit behind me. I use minor illusion to like whip up this like illusion of Shadow and have him have the illusion sprint into the house.
Into the house?
Yep. Like through the yard into the house.
So the door is closed.
Okay.
So you've got this back door here. I know it's ajar there, but just bear with me. It's closed. Everything looks, shut tight for now. There's no movement or anything. So you're just going to have this illusion just fade through the door.
Yes. For now. Like, first of all, that gives me the yard. If it's in the yard, it'll give away its location if it goes for the illusion.
Yeah.
If it doesn't happen to have eyes on the door, it will just see a dog running through the house. And then there's also the chance that it sees the dog go through the door but isn't smart enough to reassess that.
All right. You conjure this illusion.
Yep.
It runs into the yard. Nothing happens.
Okay.
It runs through the door. Do you have to be seeing the illusion for it to be working, or can you still keep it up when you can't see it?
I'll see if there is any such stipulation on the spell. Nope. The limitations are what the DC is to investigate it and determine that it's an illusion. If you use an action to, no action required, but what the DC is and the maximum size.
Okay, so do you keep it up once it's gone inside and you can't see it?
Yep.
Okay.
By the looks of things.
Cool.
The range is 30 feet though, so theoretically 6 tiles from that edge.
Yeah. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 would get you to the door.
Okay, cool.
So it would disappear once.
In that case, like it'll just disappear outside the door, I guess.
Yeah.
If it hasn't already triggered anything.
Yeah, nothing happens.
Okay, cool. I'm going to go around to the gap in the fence, if I can see that.
Yep.
And then very carefully, I'm going to stealth up to the door.
Okay. Yeah, definitely roll me a stealth roll for that.
Okay, 16 plus 7. So 23.
Yes. Okay, everyone's huge. Because this grid is very much not matching. Okay, so
May I have a look? I might be able to help.
like I wonder if I can go into settings and change the
It's behind Jake's head, yeah. Grid snapping sensitivity, you can turn it back up.
Oh, I see.
I turned it down so that you could be flexible with character size.
But does that like you're still 10 feet, but it's fine.
Oh, did you crop this map by any chance yourself?
I don't think so.
Okay, cool. Just because the edges of the tiles appear to be,
Oh yeah.
and it could be that that's why it's not recognizing it
so.
properly. All good.
The scale's off.
Yeah.
It doesn't match the grid on the picture.
Yeah. So my understanding is that I can try to use sleight of hand with my thieves' tools proficiency, which allows me to add my proficiency score again because I'm using a tool that I'm proficient in addition to in addition to adding it because I'm proficient in sleight of hand.
What?
I want to open.
You add your proficiency twice? That doesn't seem right.
It's because it's the reward for having a tool proficiency, which there is not much of in this game.
Okay, so what are you trying to do?
Open the back door.
Ah, okay.
With my thieves' tools.
You succeed.
Okay, cool.
And the door opens, and you're crouched there, fiddling with your tools. And,
yep.
Oh, I think it's open. You twist the knob, it opens smoothly. And you're staring right into the eyes of a young child who's holding a laundry basket.
Yep.
And staring at you, and their mouth just drops open comically.
Hello, I'm looking for my dog. Have you seen my dog?
Mom, there's a man at the door.
Hello. I put away the thieves'
drops
tools.
the basket, runs away.
Yeah.
Yeah. And coming running out from the hallway is a tall lady. And she's kind of got her hair up in a messy bun, and there's flour on her apron, and she has a couple of little machines kind of buzzing around her head, and she's holding like a couple of potions in her hands. And just overall has this very like
artificer vibe. Yeah,
exactly. And she comes running into the room. She's like, Dorothy, what did you?
I'm still in the door, outside.
Then she notices you, and she almost drops her vials, but recovers remarkably quickly.
Okay, I was about to say, if she doesn't, can I catch one?
No. She turns, she goes, and she puts the vials down, and then she puts her hands on her hips, and she has a very stern look, and she goes, and pray tell, what is your name and your business, crouching at our back door?
Oh, I'm not crouching by this point, by the way.
Standing at our back door?
I was chasing a fuck ton of ants that were just moving through fields.
Ants.
Hens.
Hens.
Ants. Because it's that.
Hens.
Yeah. That black stuff at the edge of your garden, where it's clearly gone under the hedge. All right, you got an edge around?
Yes, thank you.
And went under there.
What is your name?
Jacques.
Jacques. You're not from around here, are you, Jacques?
No.
Where are you from? Where are you from?
a ship called the Obelisk.
A ship? So very far away.
Very far away, yeah.
I see. And you were following
Hands.
hands. I'm sorry, sir, but your
I-
story just doesn't check.
Whip up the minor illusion of the hands that I saw earlier
Yeah.
to show her what I'm talking about.
Sure. Yeah.
Like that.
Give me an insight check. Just let's do
It's a nat one.
it.
She
Okay.
thinks I'm a cool dude.
Yeah, no, she's not impressed with your little illusion there. And she laughs it off and goes, "Sir, I don't know what you're chasing, what sorry fool has been taken in by this story before for you to try it here, but I'm sorry. You're going to have to leave. Strange men trying to break into my house are not welcome. I have children that I need to protect." At this last statement, from the opposite door, this flying robot comes in.
Sorry, I need to have a look at it.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's got all these little tentacles. It can do all sorts of things. It's very cool. I love it. It comes buzzing in, and at her words, it kind of buzzes angrily at you.
Oh, yeah.
Also, I have one for Kiana.
The child.
No, Kiana's the mother.
Ah.
That is her homunculus. There you go.
Oh,
Cool.
yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, how do you respond?
You're really not worried about weird translucent ants just burrowing underneath your backyard?
I think that you have concocted a crazy tall tale to try and lure me outside so that your accomplices can maybe steal my children.
I have no accomplices except for the dog. Please don't hurt the dog. And I'm going to go for a persuasion. So that is a 15.
Okay.
So that you
Right.
call
Yeah,
your
yeah.
call on what
I
the
know.
DC is and everything.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Well, maybe you don't have accomplices. Maybe you are here alone, except for your dog. That's still not going to entice me to come outside and look at some made up footprints or handprints. I'm sorry, sir. I am very busy.
Look at it from your house. Don't step outside. Just go to a window and have a look.
Fine. If it'll get you to leave. I have better things to do with my day. Right in the middle of concocting a new elixir. She walks over to the window overlooking this little garden.
Yep. So I'm going to stealth, not from her, but in case the hands are directly beneath me. I want to be taking light steps.
Okay, where are you walking?
Not like trampling her.
That's
her
thoughtful of you.
plants, but also just over to the corner where I had seen the hands burrow underneath.
So the hands, I think I mentioned this, but they went under the hedge and they do continue.
Yep.
They go right up to the wall.
Cool. Then I'm moving over to where the handprints are to draw her attention to them.
Okay. Sure.
But yeah, as I
Just
said,
stepping lightly.
careful steps.
Yeah. Okay.
Because I don't want to be putting myself in unnecessary danger.
Okay.
Like I'm already playing chaotic neutral real badly. But chaos for chaos' sake, when it puts you in danger, is maybe not his milieu either.
So you see as you walk over, you notice that the trail is starting to fade. It hasn't quite faded near the door, but you can see where it's gone under the hedge. You can see it's starting to lighten. The blackness is seeming to dissipate in the sunlight. Quite quickly, actually.
I extrapolate the path up the house to see where it goes to.
It doesn't go up the house.
Goes
it
under?
Seems to go underneath.
Okay.
Or into, it's kind of, the handprints go right up to the edge of the foundations that this house is built on.
Yep.
And then they seem to just disappear. There's kind of a pool of this dark substance at the base of the stones, but that's it.
Oh.
They seem to just disappear.
You don't happen to have a basement, do you? Cellar?
Yes, of course. Any farmhouse has a cellar. I'm sorry.
I take a step back from
you
the
were
window.
showing me something?
Yes, these black these black handprints that are disappearing, that seem to go under your house.
I see. It just seems to be maybe animal prints to me. What's so special about
Can I make an
these?
insight check about, like, she seems like someone who should recognize weird magical shit, and she strongly appears to be not noticing it, which is like setting off his bullshit radar. I'd like to roll what I'm gonna call insight, but correct me if I'm wrong.
It would be insight. Yeah.
Cool. That one.
Oh my god.
Can't do this fucking roll.
Okay. Yeah. No. You dismiss that gut feeling. You're like, no, she seems genuinely to just be, you know, her mind is distracted and she has better things to do with her time. She's barely paying attention to you.
Yeah. I guess the last thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna like try and appeal to her with what I'm thinking is persuasion. I'm gonna say, listen, Jade seemed really worried about you when we noticed that these handprints were coming this way.
Do you mean Proclaimer Jade? Something changes in her face at the mention of Jade. You can't quite put your finger on what. All good?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Continue.
And she considers for a moment. I'm sure Jade is worried about me. I
had a fuck ton of handprints coming up to your house.
She was about to say something, but at your interruption, she shakes herself and she says, look, I really do have better things to do with my time. Goodbye. And she starts to close the door. Really haven't made a good impression.
No, that's fine. Sometimes when you are sticking to character, these outcomes occur.
Yeah. It's the fun of
Cool.
role playing.
Yep.
Yeah. You're going to let her?
Yes, I'm going to let her close the door.
Okay, cool. You hear her walk away.
Yep.
What do you do?
I'm going to go outside and at this point regroup with Shadow, because I think this is a reasonable enough point for him to catch up rather than necessarily earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I just like check on him, he's okay. And then I just like I listen out for a few minutes for anything going wrong, but I don't think he's gonna like mill around all day.
Okay.
But this is the only place that the handprints led, and now the prints are disappearing. So even if there were more, I would probably not be able to keep track of them.
In the few moments that you take to assess the situation, you see movement at the window set into this back door. And you see it's the homunculus. And it's kind of hovering in place and it's staring at you.
Am I pausing, waiting for you to do the next thing, or is that your impression of it staring?
It was kind of a bit of a both.
Okay, cool.
But would you like to do anything, or are you going to see what it's going to do? Or are you going to wait to see what it does?
Sort of. I have this feeling of like, oh, you've got a magical pet that's connected to you. We can both play this game. Pick up Shadow, place him in the thing, and then just like gesture to Shadow, being like, all right, eyes on that thing, good. And then get up and just like continue looking around briefly before wandering off. But now it's staring competition between Shadow and this thing.
Okay.
But, like, as you
why?
Like, there's just something about the like, oh, you're gonna stare at me with your familiar. Well, I can do the same thing. Except like as he does disappear around the edge of the hedge, he does the familiar thing where you walk into its eyes to look through the familiar's eyes to see if it's doing anything different now that Shadow is waiting there.
Yeah. Okay. So you're just milling around,
Yeah, like I'm keeping an ear to the ground in case something happens.
Yeah.
But I'm also not just going to mill around someone's house who's clearly not welcoming.
Yeah. A few times you think you see the curtains twitch, and you think you see like a little kind of curious face peek out every now and then. But apart from that, you don't see anything. And then you walk into shadow, and you see that the homunculus has opened the back door.
Okay.
And is now hovering toward shadow.
Yep. Cool. I move back to shadow to back him up.
Yeah. Perfect.
Just like pierce straight around the hedge. I feel like he's got this pretty decent proprioception. So like he peers around the edge of the hedge, like as his eyes fade back to their normal color from like white while he's walking to the dog.
Cool. Cool.
So it's just like, hello again, as the octopus robot shows up. Is it just it buzzing angrily or
no? Actually, it seems if it wasn't a robot, you would say, oh, it looks anxious. It's kind of twisting two of its tentacles together. In what you would in a human would see as an anxious gesture.
Yeah. So my gut is to follow it, but I'd like to do like an insight check. I'm happy to make it a disadvantage because it's a robot.
Yeah. There's not much going on. It's 5.
So that's an 11 and a 9 is the lower roll. With insight is +4. So
13.
13 with disadvantage.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No, you get the definite sense that this robot is anxious.
Yeah. All right.
And it's not going anywhere. It kind of turns to you. It definitely wants to talk to you.
Do you want me to follow you?
No.
You can talk. And I turn to Shadow. I'm like, that's a neat trick. You should learn that.
I'm not supposed to say this, but Kiana, my mistress, she must be stopped. And then it just abruptly turns around and races back into the farmhouse.
Yeah, cool. I chase it immediately.
You storm into the house.
Yeah, following this thing.
It at one point, like it gets into the house.
Yep.
And it sees you following. It turns around and sees you following, and then it just goes, and then it turns around and it just disappears deeper into the house.
Yep.
But you're now inside.
Yep.
Yeah, no one immediately jumps out at you or anything.
Yeah.
You don't see Kiana at the moment,
Cool.
so you've got a moment.
I'd like to do an investigation for signs of a way to a basement.
Oh yeah.
And
sure. You can wander around.
And I'm gonna just like hint. Yeah, I'm gonna hint to Shadow just to like stay outside and keep watch.
Okay. Yeah.
Like, because we're connected. So if something goes on outside, it can notify me telepathically without me needing to see through its eyes, is my understanding.
Yeah.
Cool. So I'm going to do an investigation
check.
After 2 nat 1 insights and now a 2 on an investigation check, which brings me to a grand total of 4.
Okay.
Definitely missing Walter Eldon's stats.
So you wander around a bit. You're not quite sure where to look. You're in this kitchen at the back of the house. You're on a whim. You choose this door on the left because that's where the homunculus disappeared through. You come into a dining room and then you wander out to a hallway. And you go down this way, front of the house.
Can I stealth while I'm doing this?
Yeah, you can roll stealth.
Cool.
Yes. You want to make sure that you're stealthing.
Well, at least something went right. That's a 25.
Okay. Oh, wow. Very stealthy. Okay. Yeah. You just know somehow which floorboards creak and how to avoid them.
Yeah.
Just,
I mean,
like knowledge from the gods.
Well, it's almost like life on a ship. You know which
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
floorboards are going to give
Yeah.
and which ones are going to creak.
I think it's you stick to the walls.
Yep.
You don't go in the middle. Yeah. And then you enter a living room, and you're being very stealthy and very quiet. And so you startle two children who are seated at this table over here.
Yep.
And they seem to be poring over a book together and kind of muttering together and trying to nut something out. And so you're incredibly stealthy. So you enter this room and they haven't noticed you.
Yeah, cool.
You're just in the doorway.
Can I
there.
perception check what they're reading before I stealth back out?
Sure.
Not that this is necessary. Oh, that's okay. 19.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah.
It's a school book.
Yep.
It seems to be homework.
Yep.
On let's say illusion magic.
Okay.
Like the very basics.
Yeah.
Like theoretical illusionary.
Here's a question.
Yeah.
Is the door to that room open out or open out of the room or open into the room?
Into.
Damn. Okay, cool.
Yeah, so you're just in the doorway there. So you've kind of opened the door and you can see the kids.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna close it with me. I had a cool idea of minor illusioning a door into the doorway and then closing the real door into it, so that they couldn't see me closing the door. But if it's unnecessary at this point. Cool. I'm going to keep looking around.
Yep. All right, you open this door.
Yep.
It's on a very cluttered, very messy bedroom.
Yeah.
No one in there. And then you walk down this hallway, like, oh my god, where? And then you open this door, and there's a cellar door set into the floor.
Cool. Open the cellar door.
Mm-hmm.
And continue. Like I assume my stealth just continues, so I'm gonna try and go downstairs.
Cool. New map time. Can you turn away for it? Oh no, wait.
Yes, I can.
I can't do the fog thing because you'll still see what I'm hiding because you're looking at this map.
I can if you send me a link on my phone to this owlbear,
okay.
I can at least separate it and like I can look at something different on this, even if it's not going to be on the recording.
Cool. So how do I? Oh wait, no, never mind.
Oh yeah.
Look at that.
Oh okay. Cool.
That's cool. Oh, it just keeps going.
Right click maybe. There you go. Yep.
So you didn't see what was behind there, did you?
It looked like a cave maybe.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. It's on you. Oh no.
Right click.
I did.
Or maybe just go select another tool on the thing. There you go.
Cool.
I love that one of those literally points out to the that thing. But okay.
Where are you? There you are.
So I don't need this.
No.
That's fine. Okay. I'll keep minor illusion up as it has been pulling a lot of weight.
So now we can get you back to size. There we go. Okay, so you descend these stairs.
Yep.
And you come out into a cellar.
Yep.
And this is, what you would expect in a cellar. There's like a few wine bottles on a rack, and then there's crates of various like foodstuffs. A lot of pickled things, like rows of pickled things on the walls. And then your eye is immediately drawn to this great big fissure in the wall where someone has broken through into a cave system.
Okay, cool. Yeah. While I'm still like obscured and from the cave hole itself,
cave hole.
I want to do I'm within 100 feet of my familiar, so I'm just going to quickly for 6 seconds walk into shadow upstairs outside just to make sure that nothing's going on outside.
All seems calm.
Cool. I return to downstairs.
Cool. And then how do I get rid of it? Up here. There we go. I could have just done a rectangle. So toggle fog, erase fog. Okay, cool. Yep, I'm ready to go.
Cool.
So yeah, what are you doing? I will mention other senses. It's very damp down here, and more importantly, you hear sounds coming from deeper in this cave system.
Yeah.
It seems to be a lot of just like yelling and swearing.
Okay. From the lady before, Kira or
Kiana?
Kiana.
It sounds like her.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna continue stealthing towards her on my, what was it, 25?
Yeah, 25.
Yeah.
Okay. God, I don't need 20 for the fog war stuff anyway.
Unfortunate.
So because I can't. Oh, fuck! Look away. Look away.
Yeah.
I didn't realize it would just get rid of all of it. Okay, let's do like big blocks.
Yep. Good call.
I think that'll do.
Cool.
Okay. Cool. So you're. Okay, so you walk into this and it immediately divides in two.
Yep.
And
I see the crates on one side.
you see the crates on one side, and on the other side, what catches your eye is this what seems to be like a spherical ball of light, like multicolored light, and you can see a silhouette of someone inside, and there's like sigils painted around the sphere. Yeah, that's pretty much all you can see.
Okay, I'm going to investigate the ball of multicolored light from where I am. Mostly for signs that it is Kiana.
Okay.
Or is that a perception?
It can be either one, I think.
Let's call it perception then, because that's a 19. 19.
Yeah. No, this figure, it's hard to tell from this distance specific details, but they are definitely too big and too rotund to be Kiana. She was very tall and quite thin. This person, if that's what they are, is
a dragonborn?
No, it doesn't have those sharp edges.
Yeah, okay.
It's humanoid and it's kind of sitting on its knees and it seems to be hunched over. But it's a lot larger than Kiana, just in dimensions.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to go the other way because I'm going to hide behind those crates and then try and get a clear look from behind the crates.
Okay, cool. Pow. So you see ahead of you, tucked away in this corner of the cave, what is clearly Kiana's like workstation. There's desks just littered with vials and alchemical tools, and she's standing in the middle.
Yep.
She's hunched over this desk here.
Cool.
And she's swearing to herself quite loudly and trying to. She seems to be, I don't know, you can't really tell what she's hunched over. Her body kind of obscures what she's looking at.
Yep.
But she's working on something at the table. Is
there anything there that if I threw at it, it might explode?
At what?
On the table.
You want to throw something at one of the tables and hope it explodes?
I'm trying to assess my options. That's all.
You don't. Do you have proficiency in alchemical tools? Do you have any? Don't know.
Nor do I have Arcana. So that's
you don't know.
That's fair.
You don't recognize what's in the vials or whatever, so anything could happen.
Yep.
What are you doing?
I want to look. Can I take a closer look at the stuff on the desk? If there's anything that looks out of, I guess I can only see the left one. Actually, if I continue moving around behind the crates, which I think I can do stealthily.
I'd probably get you to roll again because there's not a lot of distance between them and the cave wall.
Okay.
So you'd kind of be shuffling along and you're definitely going to make more noise
Right.
than if you're just creeping. But she does have her back to you at the moment.
Yeah.
She definitely hasn't noticed your approach.
Yeah, I'm gonna just try and let's have a look at the first desk that I can see from here, just in case everything goes awry. What am I seeing on that first desk?
So you peer over there and you pick out a number of scrolls that look very old.
Yep.
Some of them are actually disintegrating as you look at them in the bright light of this cavern. You also see vials of what definitely looks to you like blood.
Okay.
You're like, yeah, no, that's good for blood. That's the exact color blood.
Yep.
You also see no, I think that's what would jump out at you. Yeah. As you're looking at this desk, Kiana suddenly turns to that desk.
Yep.
And she grabs one of the vials of what you're pretty sure is blood.
Yep.
And she goes back to the desk she was working at, and she picks up what looks like a pen.
Yep.
But kind of like a pen, I don't know. Is it a pen? I'm not sure.
Like a quill?
Yeah, kind of like a quill, but it's made out of. You can't quite make out what it's made out of.
Okay.
But it's not your everyday regular pen.
Yep.
And
I guess something's about to be written in blood.
She dips the quill into, like, she pours the vial into something, and then she dips the quill into it.
Yep.
And then she walks over to
All
the
right.
spear of light.
Cool. So I'm gonna stealth up behind her on that side.
On what side?
The top side.
This
of the map.
side?
No.
This side?
Yeah. Yes, but via the top side with the
So
desks.
this way?
Yeah. So I'm just gonna have a quick look at stuff on the desks, see if there's anything that seems of value.
Yeah.
This is like a blink of an eye sort of thing. So
Yeah. Gotcha.
Perception or are you just gonna let me?
You're just looking at it. Sorry.
Yeah.
There's plenty of light in this cavern.
Hmm.
Yeah. So you see like small bones on the desk.
Yep.
And some of them have been made into rudimentary quills.
Yeah.
You also see papers covered with runes that you don't recognize immediately, but it's like they've been done over and over and over again as if she's been practicing.
Yeah.
You also see some more spell scrolls, and you do see on the walls. Oh no, scratch that. That wouldn't make sense. Yeah. Yeah. I think that covers it.
Cool. I'm going to take the remaining vials of blood. Seems like a part of stopping her as stealthily as I can. Do you want me to roll sleight of hand, or just that can be done because I have a dex of +5?
Let's roll.
Sleight of hand.
Let's see what happens. There's a risk.
Dirty 20.
Okay. Yeah. No, you guys, they don't clink or anything like that. Yeah. Okay. And then you're going back to your hiding place.
No, I'm sneaking up behind her. I just thought I'd check if there was anything else of value because actually, can I take a quick glance at the disintegrating spell scrolls just in case they are of value immediately?
Yep.
Can I see names?
Yep. You see Pantheon of God's Breath.
Yep.
And a list of gods.
And some of them have been crossed off, have they not?
No, but one has been circled a lot of times.
Yep.
You
I
also
don't
see
know who it is though, do I? What is the name, if I may ask?
The god
Circle?
of good food and a hot fire.
All right. I have a sneaking suspicion that I know who the entity in the circle.
Do you now? Just a bit of DM shade.
Oh, because I'm wrong.
No,
Oh,
just
okay.
because like it took that long.
Okay.
But maybe that's just me being a shit DM.
I was being careful.
No,
'cause I also
so you
don't
see
like
that.
putting bad theories.
And then you also see, so that's the one that's disintegrated, very old. And
Yeah.
then you also see a scroll where it seems like scrawled notes have been taken.
Yeah.
And keywords that jump out at you are things like sacrifice, or blood sacrifice, imprison, how, written with lots of question marks.
Yep.
That sort of thing.
Cool. So I'm gonna move up towards
What's your passive perception again?
16.
Okay. As you move toward Kiana
Yep.
in this stealthy way,
Yep.
the hairs on the back of your neck go
Yep.
up and you feel goosebumps.
Oh, something's coming up behind me.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I look around.
You look around and you see this horror behind you, this melting out of the very shadows pooled in the furthest corners of this cabin.
Yep.
Like here.
Yep.
You see this creature emerge.
Yep.
Almost, it seems to be dripping with shadow, and it is just made of arms.
Okay.
And lots of hands.
Yep.
And just seems to be just this melsion of arms.
Cool.
Air.
I would like to make a cold shot.
What is that?
I would like to take one of the daggers from my hand,
Yeah.
and I would like to throw it and try and knock the vial of blood and just stuff out of Kiana's hands.
Ooh.
in this
So
moment.
you're going to turn around,
I'm
turn
gonna
your
turn
back on this nightmare.
So think of it more as a, like, I'm facing this way,
Yeah.
and I'm going to be throwing one of these.
Oh,
so
I
I'm just going to,
see.
it's
Very
very much,
keeping your cool.
Yeah.
Just like, oh yeah, bam.
yeah, like,
That's gonna take a high DC for sure.
okay.
I would say, so is cold shot, is that just your terminology, or
Yeah,
is that an actual?
No, that's not in there.
So that would be, I reckon, a sleight of hand.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Can I make it with advantage as she does not see it coming?
No.
All right. Do I have inspiration?
No.
Okay.
It's very cool, but no.
21. You said it was going to be a very high high
Yeah.
DC, so you can understand why I looked at a 12 and a +9, and I was like, this does not sound like it's
No.
enough.
Yeah. So you're trying to, you're throwing a dagger.
Yep.
And you're trying to knock the vial of blood out of her hand.
Yeah.
Yeah. And she was holding a vial of blood and a quill. No, she was just holding the quill. So you're trying to knock the quill out.
Oh, I thought she had left the quill on the table.
No.
No, okay, cool.
There were other quills. Like,
Okay,
she's trying
But
to
I've
make
taken
one.
the vials of.
You've taken the vials of blood, yes.
Yeah.
And she's holding the quill. Okay, yeah, 21. So she's walking away, and she has crouched down in front of the sphere. She kind of raises the quill a moment to kind of check that it's working. And that's when your dagger just comes flying out of nowhere, and it hits her pommel first, knocks the back of her hand, and the quill goes flying, and it hits this sphere and just knocks it's knocked harmlessly back. And she whips around, like cobra fast, and stares at you.
Yeah, I just run towards her because that's also away from the blob monster. So
Okay.
I'm assuming that this is going to be initiative is rolled now.
Yes. I just realized I don't have the. Oh, okay. Give me one moment.
Okay.
I just need to get a. I can't believe I forgot to get a thingy of this thing. Oh, someone made a mini of it. Cool.
That's kind of cool.
Okay. So, sorry, this won't take too long.
Oh, you've got a token maker as well. I use the same one as me, or maybe
Yeah,
I've given you the link for it.
No, I got this from the Monday Night Group. From Nicholas.
That's funny because I have made tokens for the Monday Night Group using the same thing, and it just
Very good.
yeah. Oh, hey, that's neat.
What?
That you could drag it from the download bar.
Yeah.
I've never thought of doing that before.
Uh-huh.
All right, cool.
Very cool.
You can see Elise making the token literally on the screen, on the screen recording.
Yeah.
On the fly, as it were.
I never made a token for it. That's really dumb.
That's fine. You didn't need it until now.
Yeah.
Oh, now I know what it's called.
Spoilies.
Yeah.
That's okay.
You know, I was gonna name it Carrier Night.
Okay.
I hope you get that Doctor Who reference.
I get every Doctor Who reference.
Yeah, all right, cool.
I make references you don't get.
Yes, that's
all the time.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, happy with it. It's large.
Large.
So it's 10 feet.
Uh,
So it's melted out of the shadows and it's kind of hovering, like not hovering.
Yeah. And so I'm just like,
and you've got
booking it down. Yeah. And
so I'm gonna get you to roll initiative.
Yeah.
So let's get up.
So that's 16 plus 9.
Which is what?
Oh, 25. Boy, do I like that swashbuckler feature.
So is this work? So Jacques.
Yep.
Yeah, 25.
Yep.
Okay, and then I'll roll for my guys.
Yep.
Okay, let's do some shake. Oh, -1. Oh, it doesn't have much dex. I suppose when you're just full of hands.
Yeah.
Tripping over yourself all the time.
Yeah. Also, just like generally, enemies in this game don't have great swaths of defenses if they have hit points. They either have a high AC or they have a high HP, and it's usually the latter, because something with a high AC you can sometimes just feel like you make no progress against. It's why one of the things when you look at a lot of people who have homebrewed something and don't have much experience homebrewing it, they're like, oh yeah, this random monster has an AC of 20 and 300 hit points. It's also immune to all of these damage types that are very rare to have even a resistance to, and almost nothing is immune to.
So what are your hit points?
Oh, that's a good question.
Yeah.
26.
26.
Yes. I'm going to remind you that this was probably not a campaign to be soloed.
Yeah, no, which is fine.
I hope you've scaled appropriately.
Yeah. Yeah, don't worry.
You're a talented DM.
Thank you. All right. So, yep, go for it.
Great. So yeah, so I'm moving towards her. And I'm just like, what's in her eyes as she sees me running towards her?
Murder.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Frustration.
Yeah.
Fury. Confusion. How did you get down here?
It's specifically coming from the desk she was just at to make matters much more confusing.
Yeah.
I'm going to run. So how many squares towards her at this point?
I don't know. What's your speed?
30.
So 5, 10, 50. You could get right up in her face.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. But that leaves me with 10 movement. Good. I am going to. I'm going to go for a booming blade as my action. I don't believe that I have any reason to assume I have advantage, but roguish audacity means that I can still have sneak attack.
That's right.
18 plus 7 on the attack is a 25.
Yeah, it is.
Cool. That's right. Now, I'm level 3, so I don't do the on-hit booming blade damage, but 7 plus 5 is 12 piercing damage.
12.
Yep, and she is booming bladed. So in the event that she moves, of her own volition,
Yeah.
she will take damage.
If she moves at all.
Yes.
Okay.
Now I'm going to use my bonus action to
What was it? 12?
12 damage taken so far.
Yeah.
Assuming she is not resistant or immune to piercing damage from a non-magical weapon.
No, she's fine. It's not a dragon.
Yeah.
Okay.
And bonus action, I'm going to disengage and I'm going to move my 10 remaining feet.
Where?
So I'm thinking directly left. Oh, actually, one down from there. So one of my one left. Yeah. So one tile across and then one tile diagonally. Is my disengage.
Cool. I hate how it's not right in the square. Anyway,
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. Okay.
And that is my turn. In the event that she moves, she takes a D8 thunder damage.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, like I've got my eye on her. I've got peripheral view of that corridor, and I can keep moving. And can I just get an eye on this definitely god of good food and warm fires in the thing? What's this individual's deal?
He has looked up. He was kind of he was on his knees and looking down.
Yep.
But he, at this commotion, he definitely looks up.
Yep.
And he looks tense. And he's looking at you. And what is it, like 10 seconds around?
6.
6 seconds. He's looking right at you very intensely.
Yep.
And he's tense, like he's waiting.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
I guess I whispered to him, look alive. This is his opportunity to escape.
Yeah.
If there's anything he can do to help me, it
He
increases his odds.
He responds in a voice that is instantly just, if he were in the middle of combat, would really set you at ease.
Yeah.
It's a very warm, very comforting, very mellow voice.
Yeah.
He says, way more calmly than you would expect, get me the hell out of here and I'll help.
All right. Cool.
Okie dokie.
There's one more thing I'd like to do. In that my familiar's turn is concurrent with mine. Do you think Shadow could find the squid robot to assist me? Given
Shadow?
Given the squid robot did seem to suggest a alpha. Given it seemed to suggest an insistence that I do something, and now I'm doing something.
Yeah, so I think I had this conversation with you last time, but does Shadow get his own turn?
In a lot of systems, I think rules is written that familiar gets a turn directly after
we can do that.
the player.
Yeah.
But I've generally run it for when I've had players that it's just the turns are basically concurrent. So
they happen at the same time.
Yeah, but given Shadow's not here, that rules is written that his turn is straight after mine.
I'll let you have his turn.
Yeah, so basically, like Shadow is alerted to the fact that stuff is going downstairs.
Yeah.
But also, I'm kind of glad he's not here.
Yeah.
And he just, I guess, bolts into the house to try and find the squid robot.
Okay. In 6 seconds, he runs into the kitchen. He follows his nose into the dining room. And then he bursts into the living room
where the kids
were. Yeah. And his eyes instantly fasten on the homunculus, and it's trying to help the kids with their homework.
Yep.
But it turns around as this beagle just jumps into the room.
Yeah. And
that's its turn.
Cool.
But you've got its attention.
Yep. I guess the last thing I want Shadow to do in this moment is just be like, you know, when a dog is like, give me the thing.
Yeah.
Cool.
And now Kiana, she turns to you with
murderous rage.
Yep. And she pulls out a a ladle
Oh,
that she has on her person.
okay.
And it is glowing
It's a
with
spellcasting
magical
focused, damn it.
energy.
I
Yeah.
was really hoping she would need to move to attack. But okay.
She always prepared. But first of all, she does call out, Tintin, I need your help to kill this insidious spy.
Hey, I may be insidious, but I'm no spy.
And she's going to attack you.
I see.
I'm not very familiar with this.
Oh no!
Yeah.
If you want to use a spellcaster as a boss, you could use my excuse, which is to have a tournament where they have used most of their spells.
True.
Can she use fire, please?
No, she would see your horns and be like,
Would she know that tieflings have that resistance?
maybe not. You don't know. I mean, she's kind of sequestered away in this, faraway place. Yeah. So she is going to pull out her ladle.
Yeah.
She's going to touch it to the center of her chest.
Yep.
And then boom, she goes invisible.
I see.
Yeah.
Cool.
Hey,
Hey, does she move after this?
Hang on. Attacks or cast a spell. Yeah. And it's concentration.
Yeah.
An eyelash encased in gum Arabic.
Yeah, but it doesn't have a gold value, so as long as she's using her spellcasting
I know,
focus,
but it's just a weird ingredient.
Oh yeah, all of them are weird ingredients.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
She does move.
Yeah.
So
buddy.
do your damage.
That is 4 thunder damage,
Cool.
and she'll have to make a concentration check.
She will actually. Yeah, I've got that.
Yes. Right, look.
So much
her,
to keep track of.
Also, her not knowing is also reasonable.
Yeah.
If she's never encountered Booming Blade before, I wouldn't blame her.
So a con save.
It's going to be DC 10 because the damage is below 20.
Oh.
If it were above 20, it would need to be half of the damage taken.
Oh boy, I think that's a 1. So 4. Wow. Wait, 1 or 7?
Let's have a look. I would call that a 1.
Yeah.
And that would
That's
be
a 7. Yeah. Okay.
There we go.
Yeah. So 4.
Marvelous. So she immediately loses invisibility as she starts to move.
Yeah. So
and
she
where does
like,
she uncloak?
She hadn't moved far.
Yep.
She went here.
Okay.
And she went to her knees. And then she comes invisible.
Yep. So that's her action and her some of her movement.
Yeah, and some of her movement. Okay. So
Elise.
Yeah.
Can I roll my sneak attack damage for the booming blade that I hit with earlier?
Was that every attack you get sneak attack damage?
Yes. I did even clarify that I got sneak attack at the time and then didn't roll the damage for it.
You didn't?
Correct. It's 2 because it's 2d6. That is 7 damage. Okay. Sorry, not very used to playing rogues.
Hey. Yeah. Cool. Cool. All right. So what else is she gonna do?
She probably doesn't have a bonus action. It's unusual for stat blocks to have bonus actions.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, there it is. Bonus actions. I can't see what it says, but I can see bonus actions.
She can shed bright light. No, I'm good.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. All right.
Cool.
That's her turn.
Yeah.
So then it is the
Blob.
Soul Shaker's turn.
Oh no.
So it has 20 feet movement. So would that be 5 feet? 5.
Yeah, each tile is 5. It's not the width
Oh,
of
yeah,
the thing,
right,
it's just
yeah.
each tile.
Okay, so 5, 10, 15, 20. So it gets to there.
No, I think that's 25. I think
You
you've
reckon?
taken it
So
too many.
there?
Yeah.
Okay.
There you go.
I don't know if you're looking at it, but definitely from the corner
Oh
of your
yeah,
eye,
no. Like I'm keeping.
you see this mass of writhing arms just like writhing towards you, and it is terrifying.
Yeah,
I want to insist that it is terrifying in the corner of your eye to see that coming at you.
Yeah,
Okay.
cool. Yeah. So, where is the quill on the ground?
She's holding it.
Again, she's picked it up.
Yes.
Damn.
That's why she kneeled down.
Yeah. Okay, that's fair. Cool.
I'd like to also mention that the god has not stopped staring at you.
Yep. What can I say? I'm an impressive sight. I am. How rough does she look after the treatment she's just received?
She's looking pretty rough.
Okay. Cool.
Like, yeah. I can't remember what sort of damage you did to her, but whatever it was, yeah, she's looking.
Well, it was 23 in one hit.
No, but like the type of damage. So what?
Piercing, like? And then there's a little bit of thunder.
Yeah.
So she's been impaled, basically.
Yeah.
I'm going to go for another impalulation.
Ooh. With your sword.
Yeah. So I'll take one step towards her.
Okay. Menacingly.
Yep.
Yeah.
23.
That hits.
Cool. So 1 for the rapier, 2d6 for the sneak attack.
Mm-hmm.
Because of being a swashbuckler, I can get that as long as she's not surrounded by allies.
Okay.
And I don't have disadvantage.
She's not.
6, 3, and 4. So that's 13 plus 5 is 18 damage.
18 damage.
And she's booming bladed again.
So 33, 45?
Yeah.
Wow. Jesus.
Yeah. Now, question, can I try and bonus action grab the quill with like a sleight of hand?
Yeah, that'd be sleight of hand.
14 plus 9.
Oh, yeah.
23.
Okay, yeah, you can snatch it out of her hand.
Good. I'm calling that my bonus action.
Yeah.
I'm going to move and risk an attack of opportunity.
Okay.
I'm going to move. I've moved 5.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking like 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm thinking like here 5.
Okay.
And then this puts me in a place where I can, like, if there's something the god can do with the quill, he's in a much better position to try and do so.
Okay.
And she's booming bladed.
Yeah. Yes, so she can't move.
Well, she can. She would just take a D8.
Yeah, she'll do an attack of opportunity.
Okay.
So that is a. So okay, what's she gonna hit with? Yeah, plus 7. Yeah. Oh, geez. So what's that? That's 12.
12 does not hit.
Oh, okay. No, she doesn't hit you. She tried to lash out with her ladle and it missed.
Yeah, cool.
She's kneeling on the ground. It's awkward.
Yeah, and so as I get to this edge of the sphere, holding this thing, and I'm like,
so as you
this?
As you skirt around the perimeter of this sphere,
yep.
The god he gestures to the glyphs on the ground, and he's like frantically gesturing at them, going,
"Cool." I cross them out with the thing.
Okay. So there's this one and there's that one which you can get as you go.
Yep.
So you can cross those out.
Cool.
But there is one over here.
Yep.
So can I just turn this to red and go in?
Yes. Cool.
Okay, cool. And that's your turn?
Yeah.
Great.
That's my movement, action, bonus action.
Shadow.
Cool. Yep. He's upstairs. Being the infernal boy. Yes. His alignment is chaotic good boy.
Okay, what's he doing?
Yeah, he's trying to gesture to I assume Tintin.
Yeah.
To help.
So he doesn't need to do that because Tintin is already heading out the door and kind of flies over Shadow's head and heads toward the basement.
Yep. As he does this. He turns to the children in the room to like, in his way of trying to convince them to just like don't go anywhere, stay. He's just like, he's still got a dagger in his mouth. And he's like, just moves down towards the basement.
With his excellent doggo hearing, one of the kids just calls out, "Oh, he had a sword." Great. So they're heading down into the basement.
Great.
They'll be here on the next turn, I reckon. Okie dokie. So then it was Kiana's turn. So she can't move because she was booming bladed.
Well, she can. She'll take damage if she does.
Okay.
But I made a point of trying to maneuver behind the sphere so that she didn't have a shot on me.
Yeah.
Well,
it's just still got. Yeah. Yeah.
You might call it a disadvantage shot at least.
Try and curve the bullet, you know. Yeah, beautiful. Okay. So she grabs her ladle and with like a howl of rage, she tries to just hurl a bunch of acid that just magically appears in the curve of the ladle. She kind of like hurls it at you.
Yep.
And it's trying to get you with just that, like with some of it.
Yeah. Now, so here's the question. There are actually cover rules. Would you call what I've got full cover or half cover?
I would say half cover.
Cool.
For an area of attack. So because you're actually within the sphere there. So I'd say you're more like here. Because that's more within the sphere.
Okay.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. What are you doing?
I'm looking for the rules on half cover. But did you do an attack?
I have not yet. I'm waiting for your rules.
Okay.
I can just Google it.
Yeah. Quick reference, cover, page 196 of the Player's Handbook. Half cover provides a +2 AC to dexterity saving throws and AC.
Okay, cool. So you got a +2.
Yep.
She gets a 17.
I have a 17 AC.
With cover or without cover?
Before cover. So I have a 19 without.
So you miss.
The
acid just, it sprays onto the sphere instead and it sizzles off.
Yeah. Like she made that shit impenetrable on purpose. So if that was going to do damage to the sphere, that would probably help more than it would hinder.
For sure.
Yeah.
I keep getting to you. Oh, next time.
You used an attack of opportunity as a reaction this round.
True. Yes. Thank you. I forget they're the same thing.
Cool.
Okay.
Now I assume Blibbity Blobbity continues.
Yep. So 5, 10, 15, 20. So there.
Yep.
He's coming.
Yep.
Slowly.
Oh,
so slowly, but he's coming.
Yep. Cool. So I feel like I can do the reverse maneuver and basically get around to 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay.
To here.
Yeah.
To do the final cross out. And then that puts me within range to Booming Blader again. If I may.
Booming Blade. Yeah, of course you can.
Well, I mean, like, I don't have, it's not like I have a ton of higher level spell slots.
Yeah.
So I'm going to cross out that last one.
Does anything like a spell or a cantrip or whatever?
It's a cantrip, which involves making a melee attack with a weapon.
Yeah. That's
Okay.
18 plus 7, so 25.
Yeah.
Cool. So that is a D8 for the rapier, 2D6 for the melee. 2D6 for the sneak attack.
Yeah.
So that's 6 and 5, 11, and 3 is 14 plus 5, so 19 damage.
19 damage.
Just stab her real good.
All right. You stab her so good.
Now
you murder her.
Okay.
How would you like to do this?
So this is the thought he's got here is he sees this person is weak and he's going to use non-lethal damage to put her down.
Okay.
And he, like, having been a pirate long enough, knows how to like kill the people that you want to and not kill the people that you want to keep alive. So he gets like one of those sort of like high up just through here, avoid the guts, but it definitely fucks you up sort of stabs, drops her to the ground, which obviously doesn't count as voluntary movement. But I've crossed out the last sigil. What does that do to the?
Yeah. Oh,
to
yeah.
the
Right.
orb?
Sorry, I forgot about that. Okay.
So I like the idea that he hasn't even noticed yet, because it's basically like
Yeah.
left hand he's got the rapier. He's like, he swaps back and forth, but he's got left hand with the rapier, does a quick slashing out with the sword, and then jabs, only to turn around like this.
What's going on?
He's really everywhere.
Yeah. The barrier, it stays in place for a moment, and your heart drops.
Mhm.
And then it just starts to shimmer.
Yep.
And start to break apart from the top down.
Yep.
And as Kiana falls to the floor,
yeah,
the god inside gives out this booming laugh.
Yeah.
This ha 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 ha. It is very devoid of mirth. It is just ha, take that bitch sort of laugh.
Yeah. Look, he is not about to suddenly assume ill will towards all mortals just because the person who was trying to kill you has been punked, as it were.
Yeah.
But yeah, he basically just says she's going to face charges, and we're going to kill that blob monster together. Like, he's optimistic at this point. Do you want me to call it a persuasion roll, or are we well past that?
No, I think this is just what you're calling out in passing, because you've done, your actions. Like, you've only got 6 seconds.
Oh, I've got my bonus action, and I could run towards
wasn't
it.
your bonus action to cross out the sigil?
Oh, I thought that was free object interaction, but that works too.
No, because the other two were using a bonus action, so it just makes sense to keep things consistent.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. So the god enters the chat.
Oh no. I mean, oh yeah.
I don't actually have a stat block for him.
Oh, that's promising. Can I see that picture? Oh, what a happy dude.
Yeah.
I'm
good food.
I'm
warm fire.
I'm genuinely hoping that this is a good thing for all the people of God's breath.
Yeah. So there's a reason I don't have a stat block for him, really.
Yeah.
He'll help, but not, in any sort of like quantifiable way, if that makes sense.
Oh.
Because he's a god.
Okay.
So he's kind of above all of this.
I see.
That was kind of my thinking. Yeah. So he stands up and his head brushes the ceiling. This is a very tall guy.
Yeah.
Maybe 8 feet tall. And he's rotund, but in a really comfy way.
Yeah.
Like he wears his weight well. He owns it.
Okay.
And he just grins really widely as this soul shaker is barreling towards you guys.
Yeah.
And he's just waiting. He kind of steps away a bit, like so he's clear of Kiana's unconscious body, and he's just kind of waiting.
Yep.
Ready.
Yeah.
And now it's the soul shaker's turn.
Sweet.
Okay. It has reach because it's large. No?
Not all large creatures have reach. Horses, for example, large, no reach. Wyverns have reach on some of their attacks, but not all of them.
Yeah. So I don't need those anymore. Okay. Reach 5 feet. Okay. It's roughly. Okay. Ooh. Hang on.
Yeah. I saw the spell name.
Yeah.
I know it because I'm a DM.
Apparently it can do that. Okay. Yeah. So it's not quite close enough to you to make an attack.
Okay.
But you do feel some sort of magical interference trying to invade your brain.
Okay.
So it's a charisma, wisdom. Saving throw?
Okay.
Yeah, wisdom save throw.
That is a 9.
Oh no, really? The DC was so low. Okay.
I mean,
Okay.
you can give me inspiration.
Nah. Okay, so
If it had been an intelligence saving throw, I would have been much better off.
if the creature can understand you, succeed or become charmed. Well, the creature's charm takes. You can issue any command you choose. Okay. There's a magical command. To carry out some servants or refrain from some action. So, okay. On a 9. Yeah. So you stop short. I'm going to say for the next turn, you can't directly attack it.
Yep.
You feel this overwhelming need to stay away from it.
Okay.
It's not so much charmed by it as it is just totally terrified of it.
Yep.
And kind of in awe of it.
Yep.
In a way.
Did you say 1 turn or 2 turns?
1 turn.
Okay.
You won't be able to attack it for the next turn.
Yep.
And instead, you step down on the sphere. Yeah. I'm going to say it just forces you to take a step forward.
Okay. Before my turn?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And now it's my turn?
So that's, and then it does that. Yeah, that's all it can do.
Cool. I disengage and I run away from it.
Okay, where are you going?
I think like back to about this to basically I'll just move 30 feet away from it, directly away, like into the corner, in part because I just think let's just go one. No, like actually no, there is fair because it's also like the out direction, I guess, and that way I think that's okay, cool,
that's fine.
All right.
Yeah. Cool. And are you doing anything else?
Yeah, I guess just as and my action. But I guess as I go, before I go, I want to give the quill to the god.
Yeah. Okay.
Like as a gesture of goodwill, that he like. Oh wait, the vials are his as well, right?
You don't know whose blood it is.
Okay, cool. I guess so. I give him the quill that I understand to have his blood on it, being like, I think this is yours. And then like as he starts moving away, he because is forced to, he's like, oh shit, I think most of these are yours as well. We'll have a chat afterwards. We'll figure out whose is whose, and you'll get what's yours. He just like keeps his distance, and that's his turn.
Okay, great. The god looks a little confused.
Yeah.
Nonplussed. Yeah.
But I figured that he might be able to do more with it than I can at this time.
Okay, cool. So I'm going to say it's the god's turn.
Yeah.
Oh no, let's do Shadow and then the god.
Yes, fair.
Yeah.
So yeah, Shadow is just following Tintin down here.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, so then we're going to make it this turn.
Okay.
So we've got that boy and that boy.
What that dog doing?
3 feet. 3 feet. So I'm gonna say they make it to the mouth.
Yep.
Like kind of here.
Yep.
So they can see what's going on, but they're not directly in the fight just yet.
Yeah, I guess as they show up, I'm just like, woman's unconscious. She's got to face charges. But in some good news, the god's free.
Yeah. Good. Where you go?
I do not know.
Where'd it go? I wanna.
Which one?
What the heck? Here we go. Okay. No. Okay. Yep. Okay. Yep. So sorry. Repeat that.
I just say to Tintin and Shadow. All right. So Kiana's down.
Mm.
We've got to get her out so she can face consequences. But alive. And in good news, the deity's free.
Great. They take these things in quite impassively. Maybe Shadow gives a wag of his tail.
Yeah.
And yeah, cool. That's their turn for now. They can't do anything else. So it was Shadow and then Kiana's down. So now it's the Soul Shaker.
Yeah.
So it is going to two arms are going to kind of rise out of the seething mass of arms, and they're going to shoot out towards your neck, and they're going to
Towards
try and
me?
grapple you.
From 30 feet away.
Oh wait, no, you're over there. Sorry, I forgot you were over there. In that case, yeah. It's going to do that, but toward the god. This massive god, it is going to run up to him.
Yeah.
And it is going to shoot out not 2 arms, not 4, but 6 arms are going to shoot out of that writhing mass and are going to just fasten onto his wrists and onto his knees, because that's all they can reach.
Yep.
And like his waist. And they're going to attempt to grapple him.
Yep.
They don't.
Okay.
He laughs again, this time with a little bit more mirth.
Yeah.
And he just pushes it off him.
Yep.
And he says, your mistress is done for.
Yeah.
Go back to the hole that you crawled out of, small demon. Go. You're no longer needed here. And it does seem to shrink back at his words.
Yeah.
Even though they're said kind of calmly, not that threateningly. And then it tenses up. And it doesn't move.
Okay.
But it's certainly not, scurrying away.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Yeah. So now it is, or
Tintin.
Tintin had its turn.
Yep,
I think,
good.
yeah. So now it's your turn.
Cool. I think I can get to it by running here.
Uh-huh.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So my exact movement limit
Mhm.
to get to there.
Mhm.
And I'm just going to go for a booming blade where I am. Do I have flanking by the fact that there is a giant god on the
Yeah.
other side?
Yeah, I do. I
Nice.
want to make sense.
You love to see it. So that's a 17 is the higher roll.
Yeah, that is
And that's before adding my stuff.
good stuff.
So
Behold.
rapier, sneak attack.
Yep.
We'll worry about the booming blade damage if it moves.
Yeah.
9, 11 plus 5, 16 piercing damage.
Okay, very nice. And it's booming bladed, I'm assuming.
Correct.
Yeah.
But I am now right up in its grill, and
Yeah.
I would risk an opportunity attack to move, which I don't know is a good idea. But it'll have a full action move on its turn. You know what? I'm just going to stay here.
Okay.
I'm
Right up in its
right up in
palm
its
face.
grill, because I would be bonus action moving,
yeah.
which I'm still a little bit worried about Kiana, because she needs to be brought to justice. Maybe that's me as a lawful good player. That's actually
it's
not
not
true.
really.
I'm more of a neutral good player, but yeah, I think he's set his sights on her, seeing consequences for what's happened for Terry.
Yeah.
And so he's going to stay up in his grill just to make sure that like there are two targets more tempting than more prudent than the
Yeah, very good.
unconscious woman who's.
Yeah.
I hope you let me mark her as stabilized but unconscious.
Yeah.
Yep. Good.
Yeah, because you did the final blow, so you did it. You were careful, not to do lethal damage, so
Cool.
she's not bleeding out or anything.
All right, so that's Shadow, I guess.
Yeah.
I guess he's just going to move in close and take the dodge action, which is the kind of the default for a familiar to do if they're not doing anything else.
Was it 20 feet that he asked?
40.
40.
But
okay.
he's not going to get up in this grill either, but just kind of in the area.
35, 40. There you go. He's in the area. Dodge action, perfect. So then it is the Soul Shaker's turn. Yeah. So it shoots out, and this time it does try to fasten two arms around your neck.
Yep. So this is a grapple attempt.
It is a first it's a weapon attack.
Okay, cool.
It's a melee attack, and then you may be grappled. There is a
Oh, grappled as a direct result of that.
Yeah, if the target is oh no, if you're medium or smaller, you were just grappled.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Understood.
Cool.
I
But
am
you can
medium.
try and escape.
Yep.
Okay. So a non-natural 20.
I don't have cover. And flanking doesn't work against him here. So he's okay. That hits.
Okay.
So I'm going to cast Hellish Rebuke at the second level.
So 9 bludgeoning damage, and you are grappled.
Cool, and he's going to take 3d10 fire damage. 1, 2. You know what? I want to go use my fire d10. 1 second.
Did you note down your damage?
Not yet.
Wait, I can note down your damage.
All right, 9 bludgeoning. Did you say?
Yes.
Cool. Can you pass me a pencil?
I have a pen.
That'll do.
I can note it down here if you don't want to write it on your.
I'd like that. Yeah.
Cool.
So
what was it? It was 9.
9 bludgeoning damage.
So, 6, 7, 8, 9, so 17.
And off that 3d fucking 10, he takes 11 fire damage.
So 27. Cool. Great. And then no, I don't like that. No, I'm not using that action. No, I hate it. Okay, cool. That's its turn. So then it is Tintin's turn. Tintin is going to buzz over to Kiana's body.
Yep.
And he's going to, or it's going to, he has enough strength to kind of get 2 of its tentacle arms under her armpits.
Yep.
And it's going to start dragging her away very slowly. He doesn't get very far on this turn.
Yep. Cool.
But that's what he's doing.
Cool.
And then it's your turn again.
Oh,
I forgot about the god.
Yeah.
The god. So he
punches it so hard he's not grappling me anymore.
Yeah. So he turns to you and he says, "You seem to have a handle on this situation, if I may say so. Did you want to just finish this off?"
If you can make that a possibility for me, I would love that.
Great. And he's going to just walk around, so he's kind of here.
Yep.
And he reaches out with one great arm, and he just kind of swipes through the arms, and you can hear the bones in them break as the arms just go limp around your neck, and they fall away. And that's 2 arms that are just useless for this many-limbed creature.
And it's no longer grappling me?
It's no longer grappling you, and then he just takes a step back and says, "Have at it."
Yep. All right, cool. So like he does like a slide around the side of it and goes for another. He's no longer flanked, is he?
No.
But yeah, he goes like for some of the legs with the swipe with the rapier.
It hasn't.
Oh yeah. The supporting arms.
Yeah, the supporting arms.
So that's a 21.
Right.
We've got rapier damage and sneak attack. 2, 3, and 3. That's 8 plus 5, 13 piercing damage. And I jab one of the leg arms.
Cool. Okay. Excellent.
That's booming bladed.
Mhm.
And then I'm going to disengage and move 15 feet back. Kind of hoping
10, 15.
Kind of hoping that it'll need to trigger the booming blade damage and that'll finish it off.
Mm-hmm.
But it's sheathed in this like sort of weird staticky air.
Huh. Cool.
And like as he put this effect on it this time, he was kind of remembering the way he learned this this spell was from the way air hangs onto a ship in spell jamming space. And it's just like, yep, and I'll like enclose it like that and should hold it in.
Cool.
And then took a couple steps back.
Yeah, cool. As you take the that was your turn, so Shadow, sorry.
Yeah. I guess Shadow just comes over to me and is supportive.
Yeah.
Emotionally.
Cool. Great. So as you take a few steps back, trying to sheath it in this stuff in the air or whatever you're doing.
Yep.
It instantly reacts by like 10 or 12 arms just kind of rearing back, like in this really intimidating pose, and you almost hear like an angry hissing coming from it, but you're not sure from where because it has no face. And it just lunges towards you.
Good.
Almost trampling Kiana.
Yep.
And Tintin's just like frantically trying to drag her away from this thing.
And that's 1 thunder damage.
1 thunder damage, yeah. Everyone cheers. And this time it shoots out 3, and it again fastens 1 arm or 1 hand around your throat and 2 around your wrists.
Or
so
at least, is this an automatic thing or is
no,
this an attack roll?
so it attack roll.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah. 23.
23?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have that.
Okay. You take 8, 12. Ooh.
Yeah,
I
cool.
think you're down.
Nope. With the 9 I took earlier, that puts me at 21 damage.
20. Oh yeah, no. I thought I'm looking this wrong way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it does put me close
5,
to.
no, so that's 8 plus, right? It's 13.
Yeah.
So 4 left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, I can't just disengage to get out of being grappled, can I?
Yeah, you have to try and escape.
Okay.
There's a DC.
Yep. I guess I lament that that random god had a little too much faith in me. And I'm going to make an acrobatics check to try and get out.
Yeah.
14 plus 7, so 21.
Oh yeah, beautiful. Yeah, you can escape.
Yeah, cool. I move a full 30 feet back this time.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30.
Yep, and then on Shadow's turn, he moves back to be next to me, but this time but he's taking the dodge action. The dog action.
The dog action.
Yeah.
Tintin, meanwhile, on his turn, has managed to drag Kiana over here.
Yeah, okay, cool.
He doesn't think that's far enough, so he's going to keep dragging her.
Yep.
All the way out. And then
God, I wish I could have bonus action booming bladed on that turn, but I just didn't have the.
Okay.
I had no bonus action attacks. Yeah. Oh no, my bonus action was my disengage, so I am. Set.
True. Okay. The god, he watches you run away.
Like I'm still
I'm still fighting. I just needed.
You're backing off.
Yeah.
Yeah. But okay, so he sees you back off. Sorry, not run away.
Yeah.
He has kind of an amused look on his face, and he seems to be mostly enjoying this. Because he knows he can step in at any time.
Yeah.
And he calls over to you and he says, "Look, I'll give you one more chance. I can take care of this if you want. Up to you."
Look, I'll keep giving it a go. Just don't let me die.
Fair deal.
Yeah, and I guess like it's gonna take its 20 feet movement towards me, and then it'll be my turn. I'm guessing.
Yeah. 5, 10, 15, 20. Ah!
Yeah.
To kill you.
Yeah. Okay. So,
You do be incensed.
it should be incensed. What I'm thinking of is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then a 6th square while disengaging to put me there.
Okay.
Booming blading on my way through.
Mhm.
And if you'll let me do it in parallel, no, never mind. I'll just keep Shadow. I'll have him come over and help with dragging her away.
Oh, that's good. That'll speed things up.
Yeah, and so in the meantime, that's going to be a booming blade attack.
Yeah.
Without the benefit of flanking.
Yeah.
17 plus 7, 24.
Yes.
Cool. With sneak attack, that's 5 from those two, 1 from that. So 6 plus 5 is 11, and it's booming bladed.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah, you can see a lot of its arms are really bloody, and it's kind of dragging some on the ground.
Yeah.
It's looking pretty roughed up.
Cool.
Yeah.
And then I'm just gonna hope that the booming blade sheathing does the trick. So I've used my movement, I've used my bonus action to disengage, and my action for a thing. So that's
Yeah.
my turn.
That's your turn.
Yeah.
And Shadow's helping out Tintin.
Yeah.
Very good. So then it is its turn. It is going to just hiss out in anger. Just like all of it, it's looking so agitated, like it's stamping the ground, and it almost seems like it's having a temper tantrum.
Yeah.
But it's not funny in any way. Like it is just pissed off, and it wants to hurt someone, and that's all it knows. I forgot you could label these. We don't need to.
It's fine.
And yeah, it's going to take the damage again.
Okay.
It's not very intelligent. It's going to take the damage
6.
again. 6. So 58. And yeah, it's going to.
I was really hoping that was going to do the trick.
No, not quite.
Okay, and
Yeah.
I'm just gonna hope it misses this turn, because that's
Mhm.
basically my only option.
Yeah. Okay. Ooh. 13.
Does not hit.
Okay. So it tries to grapple your legs.
Yep.
This time to try and trip you up, but it's looking
just not
real
enough.
rough,
Yeah.
and it completely misses.
Okay.
Like whatever sight it uses is skewed, is off.
Yeah,
just can't see
It's got
properly.
blood in its
Yeah.
hand eyes,
Yep.
or whichever hand.
Blood
is
in its
swipe away.
true sight, whatever.
Yeah. I'm gonna put some blood in your true sight.
Blind sight, sorry.
Your blind sight. Yeah, I'm gonna put some dirt in his eyes.
Yeah.
What I'm really getting at.
Yeah.
So I feel like the pattern's pretty clear at this point.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to booming blade. I'm going to move 30 feet back.
Yeah.
Via a disengage. So I'm going to first attack. Does 18 hit?
Yes.
Yep. Cool. Sneak attack. God, I'm rolling so badly on the sneak attacks now. Like that's 4 from the sneak attack and 4 from the rapier. So that's 8 plus 5, 13.
13. Okay, so
And it's booming bladed.
68. What was it? 13? How much was it?
8 plus 5, 13.
So 73. Okay.
Doesn't do the trick.
No, it does.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
In that case, I guess I don't move the full 30 feet. I start. I do like the beginnings of the moving backwards from this final like stab, and then as I start moving backward, it just starts like collapsing down like this sort of avalanche of dissociated hands, and it just like continues to like calmly pace backwards as the avalanche continues, and then he just stands there presiding over a collection of
Arms.
of arcane dissociated hands.
Yeah, and arms.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Well, thanks for believing in me.
I don't know. It looked like you were a bit roughed up there.
Yeah, but that can be a secret between you and me.
I like you. Thank you for rescuing me and freeing me from this prison that bitch put me in.
Well, I mean, in general, people shouldn't be put in situations like you were in anyway, but I think the people of the town need you. If, of course.
What did you mean by that?
Well, your general vibe that you put out, good food, warm fires, they need those.
Yes.
Yes,
they do.
Honestly, it would really help to pick up the spirits of the friends I've made here if we could do something about that. And I feel like returning you to the world is a part of that.
You know what? He hands you a vial of the blood.
Yeah.
You said that I need this. I don't need this. You need this. Go. Revitalize the soil. I think the people of God's breath need that more than anything else.
And you'll be all right?
Yes. I wasn't going to give it to some bitch who tortured and imprisoned me for weeks, months, I don't know how long it's been. But she was trying to completely destroy me. I think that's the only way she thought she could help.
I don't know exactly how
she never
far.
asked.
I don't know exactly how far your site goes, but will this help with the monsters that have been coming into the town?
Look, nah, that's another thing entirely. They should back off now that that petty demon is dead.
Oh, well, that's good news.
Yeah.
I shake his hand. I go to shake his hand. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
yeah.
And just like, do you want to go grab a pint?
You know what? If there's a warm fire and some good food, I'm in.
Let's see what
it's in my name.
Yeah. All right, cool. So I think the wind up for here, we need to take Kiana back to the town to be to go before the courts.
Yep.
We need to take the children with us to the town just so that they're safe.
Yes.
Tintin can preside over them wherever they are left behind.
Yep.
And Shadow can give me the dagger back. And then I'll go find the lady who had commissioned me.
Yeah.
No, I'm gonna leave the vial of blood with Jade.
Yeah. Good call.
It appears to be the most responsible way for this to be done.
Yeah.
But I also invite Thon to join us, me and the god, for getting the good food and the warm fire.
Yeah.
In part because I kind of want to be part of the verse that gets added to the song.
This'll be a mighty verse.
Yeah, and and then I'll I guess once it's all over, bring Jade with me to the to see the lady, to kind of back me up in saying that I have done what I said I did.
Oh, I see. Jade is probably not going to go with you.
For the dinner or for the...
No, they'll come to the
dinner. For the Wednesday.
sure.
Okay, cool.
Yes. No, they're
What if I
to sit in the company of one of the gods that they, you know, revere and sing songs about is
fantastic?
That they're going to remember for until they die.
Yeah, cool. In that case, I
yeah.
guess what I'll bring to see the woman is the like a draft of the verse.
Oh,
that
very nice.
Jade's
yeah,
written up.
yeah. And Jade will happily like write a letter to accompany it and sign it, and you know. Also, your contact in Promise, you can track her down, is Aunt Beatrice.
Yes,
who is the aunt.
That's the one. Yeah, thank you.
You track her down.
She's the one I was
She'd
looking
be in
for.
the pub.
Yeah.
At the same time.
Oh, in that case, that makes a lot of this much easier.
Yeah, yeah. And so she rewards you. I think it was
250 gold
pieces.
from memory. Yeah.
Yep. Which is kind of collective effort amongst her and the other communes. As they notice the soil starting to revitalize. And then she adds her little piece to the letter as well, which of course your contact would recognize as her handwriting.
Yeah.
And then you have this fantastic night of revelry. It's just so heartwarming. The food will never taste so good again. It's really great food. The fire's never been so warm and cozy. It's fantastic. This god just hunched over in one corner, you know, head brushing the ceiling. It's a great sight.
Yeah.
And the next day you head off. Jade and Aunt Beatrice see you off to the jewel that will take you back to this Radiant Citadel.
Yeah.
The god has long since disappeared wherever they live.
Is there any chance he blessed one of my weapons before he left?
Oh, what does bless do again?
It's not a mechanical thing.
Like
just be like
okay.
turn it into a magical weapon of some description. The
That's
answer
a cool
can,
idea.
yeah.
I hadn't thought of that.
My thought had been specifically the rapier that was used to save him, but or the dagger that was used to save him in theory.
Look,
but we
he'll
can figure
ask
this out
you.
another time.
We cannot figure this out another time. Yeah, actually, because you're going to use Jacques in the.
Yeah.
So we can talk about that for sure.
Yeah.
Something to keep in mind. All 30 minutes, but yeah. And you're taken to the jewel, and you head back to the Radiant Citadel.
Yeah.
You meet up with
Beatrice's niece. Whose name Aria. That's right.
Aria. Yep. You meet up with her in the inn. The tavern that you met in. I can't remember the name. I just called it the tavern. That's right, because it's the first tavern to ever be constructed on the Radiant Citadel.
Oh, that's right.
So
because
the
it actually like chipped into space that was normally not something.
Yeah, it's built into the crystal that's meant to be impenetrable by all magic. So you meet up with her in this tavern, which I have a map of. So let's just show that because it's really pretty.
Yep.
Right.
You love to see it.
It's so pretty. So you and Shadow, just to complete the picture. You meet up with her. She sees the note. She reads the verses of the song. She's really impressed. She wasn't expecting you to have to, do all this stuff.
Yeah.
She's like, okay, wow. I wasn't expecting the task to take that long. I'm really sorry.
Is that a meta joke?
Possibly. Yeah.
Oh, I can't give you inspiration.
Wow. Okay. Cool. Thank you. For just saving all of God's breath.
Yeah. Well, what can I say? I like to do a job well.
Yeah. Well, it gave me plenty of time to discover why your ship disappeared on you and just took off.
Yeah. What happened there?
Well, it turns out that the stars are going out.
Oh.
At least in one small region of space, anyway.
And they had to head down there.
They were called by the Galactic Commons to receive a new job.
Oh.
And apparently it was urgent. They had to leave straight away. I'm surprised they didn't leave a note or anything, honestly.
Yeah, it seems out of character. Let's let's segue
But
back around to
apparently,
that part.
yeah, they are coming back though.
All right.
They are coming back. They haven't forgotten about you, but they raced off, and apparently they're due back tomorrow. In fact,
Oh, that's awesome.
so you can ask them all about it. But seems kind of serious. I don't know. It might just be a conspiracy theory. Who knows?
Yeah, all right.
I don't really pay attention.
Oh, thanks for tracking that down for me.
Yeah, look, you saved my entire hometown, so I can't thank you enough for that. I just want to make sure my family was okay. And you're like, hey, I'm just going to save the whole world.
Yeah, well, what can I do?
Great.
Oh, I guess the answer to that is considerably less, but here we are. I did what I did. It's too late to take it back, nor do I think I would. Thanks.
No worries.
I think we can call it that.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
You spend the rest of the night, Aria pays for a meal and drinks, and you have another good night with a good friend
Yeah.
before, being able to see your crew in the morning.
Marvelous.
Yeah.
Thanks for a rad campaign.
Oh, no worries.
Sorry, it took so long. All right. We can hit the stop recording button on the old.
How do I
Double click to go back. Yeah. We suddenly became boomers. Oh, here.
So if you hit stop share, I guess.
Oh yes, that's right. Stop share, then
and
spin,
then
and then recording.
Stop. Bye everyone.